Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Heat Lab guide. My name is Foch and today we are taking our Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo around Donington. Still in 1.8, but we have to get Donington out of the way. Absolutely lovely racetrack, especially this part downhill here. Absolutely wicked, really enjoyable. Ferrari here so-so is probably the best way to describe it. It has some strengths, but the poor acceleration is definitely showing here. Very short main straight, so you can't really make up for the poor acceleration over the straights, so you generally gain time in corners like this. And also the car isn't really the easiest to really send it over the chicane, which is where you lose a lot of the lap time. And Donington being Donington, a very old school track, relatively mixed with some really slow speed corners, a lot of really high speed corners, but the only thing it's missing is longer straights. So racing here can be very tricky, but let's talk about the braking points for this circuit. So if you're doing quali, you always want to do this lineup, not quite like this. You'll probably see it better in the hot lap. Don't go over the track limits because that could get you in trouble. So we're starting with TC9. We're braking about a car length after the green pit lane overlap ends. Gone for the apex in the second gear. We're staying in 90C. For this next corner, we're looking at the board on the right and we're braking a little bit after it, trying to clip a little bit more of the inside curve. You can run wide on the outside. It's not recommended as you scrub the tires on grass and it gives you poor grip here. Here we brake just a little bit after the one brake marker on the inside. Tires aren't quite there yet, so we can't really brake that late. There's a nice little dark patch on the curb for that corner where we can brake. We can cut the inside quite a bit, but there's a very nasty bump on the inside, so finding the right line is very important. And for the chicane, we brake just when the road starts going downhill. Downshift to second and go into third on acceleration. Here we brake after the one mark, and there's again some darker patches on the curb. We're putting down the TC to 6 ideally, and for the last corner, once again, we're braking on a darker spot on the white line. Very minimalistic braking references for this circuit, so following other cars can be quite tricky. There's definitely some alternatives you can pick up, but these are the ones I use on a clean track. So that is roughly the lap guide on this track. Alright, so here's our setup. We are going for pretty standard stuff here. Caster, once again, reminder, is a personal preference. And a massive disclaimer, this is 1.8. A lot of this stuff might not work that well in 1.9, so use with your own caution. Talk about traction control. The only place we lower it is in the hairpins. 5 will make the car quite oversteery on the exits, and you will definitely have to manage the throttle more. 6 is about right. It's gonna be very controllable and definitely a lot faster than TC9 there. Nothing to see here. Not that many sacrifices, as bumpy as this track is. Relatively soft setup all around. Max preload for the turn-in stability, minimal roll bar for stability on the exits. The damper is quite a standard setup for 1.8. Might not be the best for 1.9, of course. And aero-wise, this is a full wings circuit, of course. The straights are very short here. Ride height is a bit sacrificed, but not that much. If you want to make this a little bit safer, a little bit less sketchy over the curbs, as you will see in the hot lap, it is quite violent running over the curbs here. If you want to make it a bit less, so you could go up roughly like 3 clicks on the front and then 3 or 4 on the rear to make it a little bit safer, but this should work relatively well for a hot lap condition. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoy the hot lap, and I'll see you on the next one.